Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl RB, that stands for Rose Basemera, and as we've seen in the title, I'm going to talk about things I hate about being a Ugandan girl. Yeah, Ugandan lady, Ugandan girl, whatever. Of course, I'm a Ugandan based in Uganda, so I'm going to give my own personal experience and opinion based on that, because I know there are Ugandan women, there are Ugandan ladies, there are Ugandan girls that are not first generation, like that are based in different countries. So I think we'll have different experiences and stuff. Now I'm talking as a Ugandan girl, as a Ugandan lady, as a Ugandan woman in Uganda, born and raised in Uganda. Right now, I am in Uganda. So it's still pretty awkward being an athlete. So me, I was a basketball player, and it's not so common for a lot of ladies to be involved in sports, different sports activities in Uganda. The sports industry is dominated by men. Of course, that happens all over the world, but I don't think like in the States, if a woman really does sports, they are kind of, looked at in a certain way. So here, when you're doing sports, like, of course, now at least more women, more girls are coming into sports because it's now, things are changing. But when I first started out, it was a few people, a few ladies, and it was awkward. Everyone be like, "Are you sure? You're so tired." Like everyone would have something to say just to discourage you from actually taking part in any sports that you're actually interested in. And I think a lot of people would have wanted to, but because of fear of how they'll be looked at, maybe guys won't like them because maybe they are muscular or something like that. Like everyone had like a bad take on being an athlete, as a lady athlete. So that is there. Like that's what I hate about, because they give you such weird vibes for those, when you like, I don't know even how to explain, but it's not like the perfect thing. Like they don't always get the best, like, I'm this, and like, oh, are you serious? It's so nice. Everyone's like, oh, like it's like a shocker in a way. So yeah, that's one. Second thing, it's actually in line with the first one, which is you're expected to be super girly. Like you have to be like that kind of, girl, the way you walk, the way you do the thing. Now, me being an athlete, I'm actually not a girly girl. Even when I hang out with girls, like every girls are talking like about guys, or like about which hairstyle to do, or about what nail polish they're going to wear, or that and that, girly stuff. Your girl would rather be watching wrestling somewhere, or going to watch a basketball game, or you know hmm? So things like that. So you refer to as maybe a tomboy, or they actually call you a he. You're one of us, you're a dude, so why can't I be a girl and not be girly? Like, is it like a must? Like, that's that kind of vibe I don't like. So yeah. Number three, you literally cannot pay for stuff and you're looked at okay. Like, for example, I go out in a bar, okay, like, so of course sometimes you go out as girls and pay for your own stuff, but imagine you're there and there's a guy, because Ugandan guys feel like those who have money and want to pay, for like, if they take out girls or your many, they feel like they gotta pay, they have to pay the bill and stuff like that. So if you're like, you want to pay for yourself, that is not kind of taken well, because they look at you as, number one, they'll call you arrogant, proud, or a show off. I don't have a lot of money. I'm not like super rich. I'm not showing off, but even though I don't have money, can't I pay for a drink? Can't I go out to a restaurant and buy myself food? Can't I go out to a bar? Can't I go out to a club and buy my own beer, buy my own wine, buy my own tequila shots? Like, that doesn't mean that I'm super rich, so I'm arrogant because I want to pay for my stuff. Like, normalize ladies paying for stuff. Even though I don't have a lot of money, I can still, 5,000 is not a lot of money. Like, I can still pay for a drink at least. So if someone offers and you're like, no, I'm going to buy, they shouldn't look at you in a weird of like, oh, like, why do you have to give all the responsibility to men? You can also, sometimes if you have the money, yeah, it's not bad if someone says pay, I'm going to pay, and you're like, okay, fine, pay. But there are some times where I feel like I want to pay. So if I do that, don't look at me in a weird of like, oh, she's showing off, she's arrogant, she's proud. That has nothing to do with any of those things. Like, why? Why? Number four, you're expected to know all types of housework. Eh? If you're raised by set, you're in Uganda, raised by what and what? My friend. Of course, now this generation, a lot of people do not know. But still, that's like when you have like modernized parents. But when you like go to the village or what, and then you don't know how to do anything, you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to wash dishes, you don't know how to, you just take care of a home in general, because most women are bred to be home caretakers, as you know what I'm talking about. So when you do not know, this girl, you let me even first take something, because so you just looked at like, I don't know, what are you going to do in future? Who will want to marry you? As if the main basic need of a wife, you should not do housework. If you want to marry someone who can do housework, go get a maid, hire a maid and marry her. Like, I do not know. That shouldn't be something that is associated with marriage every time. You can't housework, oh, marry, you have to lead for your husband, blah, 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 blah. My friend, the Ugandan girl, you have to know how to do housework. Oh my God. Number 5, locally, women are required to kneel a lot. You know, like if you're greeting elders, mostly in the local language, of course in English, but still, mostly like people that have elder age, you have to kneel. You have to kneel down and greet them. Men, you have to kneel down and greet them. How am I on the street and then because I met someone, I have to? Of course, these days, we have the thing of like, you want to greet, you don't really go and kneel. You're like, hey. These days, that's what a lot of people do. They don't really kneel. They just assume like as if a small squat. People don't ever go down these days, but just because they don't want to even stop just standing straight, they even have to assume that kind of thing of hey. But if you go in the real village, you have to go down on your knees as if praying to God and greet someone. You do not do it. How are you raised? You have no manners. Nah. What kind of girl is she? Blah 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 blah. That's life, Matsu. Number 5, women are rarely listened to. Most times, of course, the elders will be listened to, and then the men. Then the women, if the best you can do is shut up, like no one wants to hear your opinion that much. Mostly in a certain setting, it's more of the men are given the higher privilege. So unless you're a very, very, very successful woman, then you can put in a say. But when you're like, even actually with like relatives and most times women, they don't give you that a couple of like, say something, you're supposed to say this. Most times when you say something, they don't really listen to you much. So somebody just say, just keep quiet, just go to the kitchen or do some stuff. Like, okay. Disclaimer though, these days, though things are all changing, like now, this generation, I guess, like our generation, the Gen Z, now a lot of all the things I've talked about are like changing, like the kneeling thing, greeting, or like cooking. A lot of people don't even know how to speak the local languages. So I mean, a lot of things are changing. I'm not saying that they're changing for the better, but they're not at least as suffocating as they used to be for a Ugandan girl. So I assume like it's taking a better. Yeah. Anyway, if you're Ugandan, best in Uganda, best anywhere else, you can tell me in the comment section what your experience are, or like what things you hate about being a Ugandan woman, wherever you are, your experiences, what people judge you according to, stuff like that. Actually, there's this one I've forgotten about, whereby there's the thing that came out where like they're like, oh, Ugandan girls have a lot of water. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they are it. So you find that you get DMs or you get people from different countries being like, oh, you're from Uganda. Oh, I had this and this. I want to try Ugandan women because of this and this and this. That's so annoying. If it's true, if it's not true, how can you just go asking someone that thing directly? Like, who do you think we are? Like, what do you take us for? Regardless if it's true or not, if I were or not, you just can't come. So if now I'm like, okay, yes, it's true, come and experience from me. Really? Like, why would I even do that? Like, regardless, like, there's also that because of a certain stereotype of Ugandan women are this way, they are that way, they are this way. A lot of foreigner men are going to approach us women and ask us in that regard of, I had women, the Ugandan women are like this and this and this. I'd like to try. I wish I could share that DM here, but I think I like deleted it because I was so pissed, and some of them I ignore them. But really, guys, really? That's another thing I hate about being a girl, because you always get such. Like, people don't first regard you according to other things, they regard you according to that. Like, anyway, if you've liked this video and you want to watch more like this, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button so that you get notified every time I upload. Yeah, like and share as well. I appreciate. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.
California love, I've been riding through the city in the Cadillac, getting faded off the Remy. Had a ugly little past, nowadays sitting pretty. I know I made mistakes, I just